Just over a year ago, the MP's expenses scandal broke, unleashing a wave of popular disaffection and disgust with the political class. Here in Bromsgrove, the local MP Julie Kirkbride found herself at the epicentre of that storm when she was found to be double dipping with her husband, who's also an MP. After an intense local campaign to get rid of her, she finally resigned, turning what was a Tory stronghold into a marginal that could go any number of ways. And I'm here with the man who started it all, Mark France, who launched a campaign to get rid of Julie Kirkbride. Hi, Mark.
Hi, Gary.
What made you want to get involved in that campaign? What made you want to start it?
I was angry like everybody else. I think most people had an inkling that the political class, had a penchant for, various forms of corruption. But what was clear was that the extent of this, combined with the really harsh, sharp impact of the recession, it basically felt like the last straw, and it was the anger was so widespread. I sort of thought I'd take responsibility and try and act as a lightning rod and channel that anger into something productive and constructive. And for me, that was the simple demand that the MP should resign.
Mark's leadership of the campaign got him fired from his job at Bromsgrove Job Centre. Now he's standing as an independent on an anti-war and anti-cuts platform. He took us to talk to one of his most influential supporters, Dawn Butler. What were the policies that he talked about when he came to your door that you particularly liked?
It was straightforward stuff. I asked a question, he answered it. And I've asked senior politicians a couple of weeks ago on a radio show, and all I got was deflection, and it went straight back onto their political campaign, and they wasn't interested in the common man or woman.
Dawn has 2 sons serving in Afghanistan. She supports the troops, but opposes the war.
They signed on the dotted line to serve Queen and country, and they're not doing that over there, in my eyes. It's a political battle. And it's not only that, when they come back, they get dropped.
What do you think Mark's chances are?
I think they're very, very good. I think they're very good because instead everyone's disheartened and a bit disillusioned of how main party politics is going, and we've been fed lies on top of lies, and it gets to the point and you think, oh, and it's like a breath of fresh air really, Mark walking in and saying, right, this is what I want done. There's no hidden agenda, there's no cloak and daggers.
Mark has far less resources than the mainstream parties and often finds himself marginalised. We're standing outside Artrix, which is the local Bromsgrove Arts Centre, and there's a hustings. But Mark, you're not on the stage. Did you not get the invite? What happened?
I found out this hustings was happening, so I contacted BBC Radio Hereford and Worcester and to find out the details, expecting that I would get an invite because I'm a well-known independent candidate in the town. But basically they were quite embarrassed about it, but they said no, we're just having the established parties. And that's an example of how the debate is constricted, even in an election period. You get almost like a conspiracy, a closing of ranks of the establishment to prevent alternative voices being heard.
I asked him what question he would have put that would not have been asked in his absence.
One of the issues is that in this town, we had a kid last year who lost his life in Afghanistan, just 18 years old. We have there's quite a lot of military families in the town who are really suffering a lot of anxiety, and none of the established parties want the war to be discussed as an issue.
After the debate, the UKIP and Liberal candidate came out to greet him. It does seem like a very volatile situation. Is it volatile?
It is, I would say so. The people are angry, really. Not about the expenses, that they were last June. They were incredibly angry. But now they don't seem to be that keen on the fact that the Conservatives have chosen a candidate that lives outside of the constituency, or is in fact, shall we say, associated with the banking industry.
In the absence of a party machine, Mark must rely on the old-fashioned method to get his message across.
Sorry about that. Well, I'm standing in the general election as an independent and that, right, if you want to have a leaflet. Have you seen my the election leaflet? I'm the guy who used to work at Bromsgrove Job Centre, who started the petition campaign on Julie Kirkbride. I used to work at
Bromsgrove Market, and look what they did.
Yeah. Well, I'll show you on here.
Peter Michael and his friend Mr. Ollingsworth, they should have stuck them on the top and dropped them.
Oh, exactly,
when the bulldozers coming.
I've had a run-in with Peter Michaels. He was threatening me. Yeah. What do you think then? Do you think I'm a nutter?
Yeah, mixed feelings. I know if you're having your say.
Yeah.
Tell Peter Michael to keep away from me. Yeah. I've got a very bad temper, and that fist will go straight in his gob.
So are you like voting for me?
Yeah, God, yeah, in the vote.
We're going to vote for you.
And do you think other people are going to be voting independent this time round?
Well, yeah. We've heard quite a few wanted it.
My husband said he's going to go independent. He don't want to vote for Labour or Conservative. He says they don't stick to their words.
However well Mark does on election day, the reception that he's been getting already illustrates two key points. First, the promiscuity of once loyal Labour and Tory voters who are abandoning the established parties and looking for an alternative, any alternative to the mainstream. And second, the profound disillusionment with both our politics and politicians who showed contempt for the electorate during the Iraq War and lined their pockets with the expenses scandal during one of the most profound periods of economic depression in our living memory. Ironically, this enormously exciting electoral moment has been born from one of the most depressing periods in our political culture.